Well, hallelujah and praise the Most High today, family. Praise the Most High Yahuwah today. The Most High Elohim, Yahuwah Sabaoth. Hallelujah. The captain of heavens and earthly armies. We're going to speak on today a little bit. Yes, we are. He's so good to us, family. He's so good to us. I so appreciate him speaking to me. It's nothing more encouraging, family, than him to whisper in your ear. And most of the time, I'm going to say this and we'll get started. Most of the time it's because he's just like that teacher that has you under an exam or a final exam, and they just come by your desk and tap you on the shoulder and say, "You got this. I believe in you." Hallelujah. And that's how the Most High is, family. So good to us. I do hope everyone else is well today, and like myself, you're able to get out and enjoy this day. Getting in some fresh air, some sunshine, and the Most High willing, some good exercise. It's nice out today. Little breeze blowing, kind of windy, nice and cool. Like we said, it's going to be overcast until tomorrow. They're expecting them storms from the coast to come in and give us some weather. But we'll take it, like we say, we'll take it, whatever. Hallelujah. We do have a grand idea today, family. We're going to get right on into it. And it's one I had when I was, once again, getting up in our normal business hours. When he wakes us up in the morning to share us a good idea. He said, "My finest hour." I said, "Okay, your finest hour." And then I thought to myself and was like, this is my finest hour as well. But he told me, my finest hour. I said, praise the Most High. Let's read some notes. I had just received some very troubling news last evening, and before I knew it, I whispered, "Abba, let this be my finest hour." I instantly thought back to a sermon I had just heard on the Shabbat by Pastor Rick Fletcher. It was about how crazy this world is getting and how the enemy is trying to make the Most High's people crazy by applying all kinds of pressure. Today, I heard someone, well, this was yesterday. Earlier today, I heard someone say that you are always going through something, trying. Always. I would say that both of those statements are true, and I will add one that Yahuwah told me a few months ago. He said, "Robert, thank me for the pressure." I said to myself, I will most certainly not thank you for nobody's pressure. Then before I knew it, just like today, I heard myself say, "Thank you, Abba, for the pressure." I was taken back. I was like, did I just say that out of my mouth? Before I knew it, I was breaking out in praise for the pressure. That's exactly how it was today. The short prayer I prayed was as if I was unconscious. However, I knew right then that this was so much more than just a prayer. This was an introduction into not only my finest hour, but also the Most High's greatest hour, or finest hour, pardon me. I'm reminded of this script I saw posted on a bulletin board at a rehab center where one of my loved ones was doing rehab. I instantly knew that it was for me, so I stopped, took a snap of it, and told Yahuwah, "Thank you, Pop, I received my new season." And it's the text in Ecclesiastes, where it says that to everything there is a season. I should know by now that just as in school, you must test out of the older class and into the new or next one. This last test has come just as Pastor Rick Fletcher said it would. A bunch of mess all at the same time trying to break me down. But Yahuwah. And my finest hour means a point in time, a relatively brief period of time when an especially distinguished, admirable, or effective set of actions is performed. Family, there is only one reason we are seeing our finest hour in this season. It's because our Abba, the Most High Yahuwah, is showing this earth his finest hour, since he brought our forefathers up out of Egypt with the mighty right hand and with fury poured out. And he's doing all that he's promised us and these other nations he would do. And let's look at some script. We're going to look at Jeremiah 16, 14, and 15. And it says, Yahuwah will restore Yasharal. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, says Yahuwah, that it shall no more be said, Yahuwah lives who brought up the children of Yasharal from the land of Egypt. But Yahuwah lives who brought up the children of Yasharal from the land of the north and from all the lands where he has driven them. Now, family, this is such a great feat. Pardon me. And we know they've been talking about it ever since he brought our forefathers up out of Egypt. Yeah, they got the colors wrong on TV. They put pale-faced folks in the place of brown folks, brown-skinned folks in Egypt, saying that those folks were the one that held us captive, and we were pale. We know how Hasatan and his folks do. They lie, like the text says they do. But we know that the whole earth has been speaking on them. Just like we said, they did a movie about it with Charleston Heston. Grand feat the Most High pulled off. Almost one too hard to follow up. Like we said, almost. For I will bring them back into their land, which I gave their fathers. He said that there would no longer be any talk about how he put the spank down on Egypt, how he sent the 10 plagues, which caused absolute terror to grip the hearts of every Egyptian, young and old alike. Them folks were shook. And they were so shook that the other cities and towns and nations around the whole earth knew about it. See, Egypt was the superpower. They ran everything. They was the not only the superpower, but they had the super army. But the Most High destroyed them all just like that. And see how he works, family. He works with the elements. See, man can get all big and bad in the britches as they want with the weaponry, but it's no comparison to the Most High. Just as we said in the prior recording, he'll cause water to get down in their instruments and shut them down. Or send some lightning and hit something, shut it down. Ain't nothing they can do about it. We was gonna go over the 10 plagues, but I think we all know just by watching the movie how terrible he is when he goes to work against a nation that fights against him. Hallelujah. To show how powerful he is, he's in control of all this. Waters turn to blood, frogs all up in the bed with him, lice, which I heard a teacher speak one time. He said that lice included more than just lice. It included gnats, flies, bed bugs, anything you can think of that was small and flew around and crawled on you and bite you. And then next was the flies. Disease on the livestock, plague on the livestock. Then the Job plague, which was boils. Then hail falling out the sky, destroying vegetation and killing men. Locusts, which ate up the rest of the field, the crops. And then darkness and death of the firstborn. My. Let me find that note I wrote about that. I couldn't have imagined what was going on through those people's minds. This is why it was so easy when it came for the Egyptians to pay reparations. They said, take whatever and just go before we all be dead. Just go. However, we see just how stupid men can be to try to fight against the Most High Yahuwah Sabaoth. Those soldiers saw every one of those plagues, but still let a hard-headed leader talk them into riding down into a split Reed Sea and get swallowed up chasing Yahuwah's children. Just absolutely crazy. Now, if that was a time to revolt and have a revolution, I believe that was it. I believe I would have been one like, nah, I'm not messing with them. They just took my son. Why would I go? And that had a lot to do with it. And it just had spoiled them, took everything they had. They was like, we don't have no choice. And see, that's where this nation is at. We'll get to that. It don't have no choice. The resources are gone, just like all this nation and all its allies. Their resources are gone. They got to fight Russia and China so they can get into Africa. So they can get back the resources. But see, they thought they had a lock on it because they had America, who was the superpower, who would fight everybody who tried to stand up. America would go in and rip them a new one and say, get back in line and give the European Union their resources and we'll take ours as well. That's how it was done. But now they no longer have the bully no more to fight for them. So where are they at? They busted, broke, and disgusted. Hallelujah. This was just a precursor to what's happening here in this nation and all the nations of the world who touch Yahuwah's children, as the text clearly explains in Genesis 15, 13 through 14. Then Yahuwah said to Abram, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land where they will be enslaved and oppressed for 400 years, but I will punish the nation that enslaves them, and in the end they will come away with great wealth. Now we must say here that we know that this is more than just one singular nation. Like we said, it's the Union. It's a confederacy. As we see in Psalms 83, we're not going to read that today, but I would highly recommend you read over who these nations that was confederate against the Most High's children are. Not were, but are. They said, let us destroy them. Block out their name forever. But this punishment has already begun in the form of many ways, just as in the prior Egyptian enslavement. The Most High Yahuwah uses his elements as well as the armies of men to fight against any nation that opposes his agenda. Oh boy, family. And we know this because he uses nations to fight against to come at you in one way, but they end up fighting each other, killing each other off. And then our people would take the spoils. Oh boy. So let's read over Joel 3, 1 through 8. Yahuwah judges the nations. For behold, in those days and at that time, today and this time, when I bring back the captives of Jehudah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I will enter into judgment with them there on account of my people, my heritage Yasharal, whom they have scattered among the nations. They have also divided up my land. They have cast lots for my people, have given a boy as a payment for a harlot. Nope, they have given a boy as a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. See, I have to remember to keep that correct because they tried to rewrite that, but it was a boy they gave for a hoe. Just as they essay little children these days. Nasty. Indeed, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the coasts of Philistia? Will you retaliate against me? But if you retaliate against me swiftly and speedily, I will return your retaliation upon your own head. because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my prized possession. Also the people of Yehuda and the people of Jerusalem you have sold to the Greeks, that you may remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the place to which you have sold them, and will return your retaliation upon your own head. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the people of Yehuda, and they will sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for Yahuwah has spoken. It sounds like a rap, don't it? Sounds like reaping what you sow, don't it? And it is. And this is the Most High's greatest hour, finest hour. Therefore, it's our finest hour. We say in the title that it's our finest hour because it's his finest hour. Or have we even given the title? That's what it is. This is my finest hour because it's his finest hour. And he's doing the work unlike any other. But what about you? Where you at today? Are you submitted to the Most High? Are you enjoying that this is his final hour and his people's finest hour? Or are you on the opposing squad, getting that work done to you and thinking that your leaders are going to be able to get you up out of it? Not so. Not so. We love you so much, family. Do stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.